So, hi guys, if you're new here, my name is Alex Badamosi and I do a number of things on this channel, from product review to video tutorial and even holiday videos. Let's just say I love creating content. Today we are going to be looking at Final Cut Pro 10. It's a beginner video, it's a beginner overview video. So if you are interested in seeing or learning a bit more detail, then I'll be creating a new playlist with all of what you might need to know as a beginner. So let's start. Final Cut Pro 10. I will need an Apple computer for that. And the way I can get that is, really I've got multiple ways. The first one, I can just buy the software. The other one, I can go for a trial version. So if you're watching this video, it's very likely that you've been using iMove for some time now and you want something a bit more robust. So that's why you're going for Final Cut Pro 10. Now I'll be looking at the monitor. So I can just Google Final Cut Pro 10. And this is what we are looking at, Final Cut Pro 10. As I said, you can have that or as a trial, and the beauty of the trial in Final Cut Pro 10 is that it's not the classic 30 days, it's actually 90 days. So it gives you a lot of time to play around with it and feel if it's the right choice for you. There are many other software out there, but I'm fine with it. So if I want to download the trial version, I'm coming to this page, I am selecting free trial. That opens up another page, and all I need to do is just click the download, and that will download our DMG file. Just to put this out there, I am currently working on my M1. It's dynamite. I really love how it works. I've never had an issue whatsoever. Price wise, we're looking roughly at £300. Now, you may think that it's a lot of money, but if you compare that to Adobe Premiere, because I was using an Adobe editing software before, that was costing me £20 a month. It's a subscription-based software, which means that at the year 2 or 3, I was already off, and then I would have been continuing paying right now. But what I like about Final Cut Pro 10 is that it's that price. You're paying that price, that's fine, but you're getting all the updates and all you need to boost up your editing. Before we start talking about it, I know you're rushing, oh, just show me how to edit. But I want to bring another thing up. When it comes down to editing, you might think, which are the specs of the camera that you need to create like proper videos? Forget about that. You know, you want to give a story, you want to tell a story to someone. So for this example, just as a proof of concept, I use my very old iPhone 6. It's the old iPhone. I use this for my project. So what we're going to be looking at today is the classic situation where you have your family. I've got a little one, she's almost 1.5 years old. My visual thing was have this phone, film her walking, and then we'll go to a nice countryside, film her walking out with her mom and blah blah blah. And I essentially use this phone. So camera, it does make a huge difference, but it's the story that it really gives you the wow, I really love that video. So bear that in mind always. I learned that on myself. Right, so how do we start? We've downloaded Final Cut Pro 10. Next thing is opening up the software. So if I open up the software, this is what we get. See that? That's dynamite. We get an empty Final Cut Pro 10. I will go through the main interface in a short bit. The way I work, at least my workflow, is if I filmed with this iPhone, I will bring that into my computer. I'll have that one in a folder called iPhone 6. If I filmed it with this old crappy Sony, I'll do the same thing. I love you Sony, but it's crappy in the sense that it's really old camera. I'll save that content anyway in a folder if I feel it got. So I like to keep a structure. And the reason why I like to keep a structure is because it makes life easier when you're doing editing. So what I've done is I've created a folder called Final Cut Pro 10 Tutorial Overview 001. In that folder, I have created 2 subfolders. One is iPhone 6, so this is where I've got my images. So I open up Final Cut. Which library would you like to open? In this case, we are creating a new library. So whenever you fire that up, you may have an auto library set in place, and then from then on you could create your own library. Otherwise, it will just store it into your main computer. A quick concept I want to explain right here is library, event, and project. So the library is the title of your book, right? The events are the pages, and then the project is the main, I don't know, call it whatever, the main story. So this is what you want to understand as a concept. So I haven't got a library yet, so I want to create a library. I'll say new, and then I want that library to be in my external art disk. So I probably want that library to be in here, and we can call that one, yeah, how should I call that? Chloe Walk, just like it that way. So we'll say save, and I've now created my library. So what's this book name? This book is called Chloe Walk. And then within that Chloe Walk, we've got an event. So these are the pages. And within that pages, we can add more stuff. So just to make this quite nice and condensed, because this is an overview, what you want to do next is bring in your media. So bring in your material. So if I said new material, let's say import media. Now, remember when I talked about having a structure? So what you can do right now is essentially navigate to your art disk, which I've already chose here. And I'm looking at Final Cut Pro 10. So what I can do is I can say, selecting GoPro folder, hold down my shift, select the iPhone 6 folder, and then in the option in this side, I want everything to move down in today's event, so to that page. And what else? I want to leave the files in place. I'm not interested in bringing them over. And then finally, when it said keywords, the keywords here, I would say from folder structure. Okay, from folder. So I'm going to leave it that. That means that it's going to create automatically keywords say GoPro blam, iPhone bam. So none of this is relevant at the moment, so I'm just going to skip that and I say import. It will do its magic, and in that library, Chloe Walk, we've got an event which is being created today, but that want to see that as a page, so this will be journey. We can rename that one anytime by just clicking on it. You know when you do the double click, that one, I can rename it family time. Okay, so we've brought our media in, we're happy with that one. The next step is let's create the story. So let's start the project. There. And I've got new project. So I can click on that one. What's the name of this story? What's the name of the project? So I will name it something like this. Chloe Countryside Walk. That works fine. Then you can start looking at other settings such as the video quality. So the video quality, again, don't forget I was using iPhone 6. So that was getting the format from that device, which was a full HD, 920 by 1080. Rendering audio settings, those are fine as they are. All I need to do now is to say, okay. So that will now activate our timeline, or let's say our storyline. So that's where we're going to be bringing up our information or our clips and then start drawing our story out. So it comes handy once you have something like, I forgot, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. Do it. Alright, thank you. I have activated my storyline, which is there. How do I bring stuff in? Again, I'm gonna throw out some short keys here. The first one is the letter B. So the blade tool is normally used to splice your clip. But if I hit the letter B for the blade tool, I have then got the option to just scroll through my clip. Okay, so that's one way of doing it. The second way of doing things will be by using the letter J for Juliet, K for Kilo, and L for Lima to navigate in wherever you're seeing. So let's say we use this clip as an example, right? Let's say I'm gonna pick one. So we used this to start with, right? I have still got my blade tool activated, and then that's allowed me to use my cursor to scroll and see the feed. If I used the keyboard instead, I can press the letter L for Lima and that will move forward. I can press the letter K to stop, and I can press the letter J to move back. So I'll repeat that again. L, K, stop, J, backwards, K, stop. Now, if I want to move the clip a bit faster, then I can press the L twice or 3 times to go even quicker. And the same works with the backwards. So let's just try that quickly. L, L one more time, L one more time. K, backwards, 1, 2, 3. Stop. Okay, so we've kind of understood how to move around really quickly like that. You're probably pushing, just get to the editing. We're getting there, we're getting there, just patient. I want to bring that information down into my storyline. So again, 2 ways here. First one, I could just simply grab that and then leave it in my timeline. So I could do that for every single thing I want to show, there, there, there. And then with the blade tool activated, so I am now able to scroll and say, I'm happy with that one, cut. So I don't like this bit, I like maybe this part, so cut. And then how do I move around? How do I remove what I don't want? Then I want to switch back my cursor into a selection, and the way you do that is by pressing the letter A. So I'm basically changing from here, guys. This is where the magic is happening. B, blade, A, selection, and so on. Okay, so we want the letter A, selection. And then I'm saying I'm getting rid of this. And you do all my cutting. And if I want to see that in one shot, what I want to do is press spacebar, play. That goes like that. And it goes like that. And it goes like that. So it's a little bit messy right now, so just give me a second. I'm gonna import some of the files. We'll see that really quickly. So although this is an overview, a beginner overview, I just wanted to explain something really simple and easy. So if you've been using iMovie, you're probably aware about this. In this case, I did on purpose film Chloe walking with the camera the other way around, which gave me this upside down image. How do we work with that one? So 2 shortcuts here. You'll probably be hating me already, but if I am scrolling through here, I have with the blade tool, remember. Once I found where I'm happy with, I can press the letter I for India, so the letter I, and then move forward with the letter L. Let's say we like that part, stop. We're happy with that transition, then I'll press the letter O. So that stands for input and out. So once I'm happy with that one, 2 things again, I'll probably be saying 2 things like for the rest of the video, but I can either drag that clip into my timeline, or I can press the letter E to just bring it down straight away. So that will bring it down to the primary timeline. If I pressed the letter Q, that will drop it on top of the primary timeline. If I press the letter W, that will place it between them. So just to show you quickly, that as an example, I'm gonna grab this clip, place it there. Let's say I have got my blade, I changed that one to the A. So I'm moving here, there, okay. Going back to that clip we had before, if I press the letter E, that will go at the end. If I now move my time here, and I press the letter W, that will fit it between those frames, so between that frame that we selected. So I'm gonna do a Command Z, get back to that. And now if I press the letter Q, that's it, I've placed it on top of my primary storyline. Get rid of that. I am going to speed up the process a little bit just to get to the edit, and then we'll look at a couple of more things and we'll hopefully close the video.
You can bring any type of media into your timeline. In this case, I brought in some clips, but you can also bring in some photos and even
import some music. So the music will definitely give you a vibe on what's going on in your story. So I have gone and downloaded some track that I found on my account, Epidemic Sound. Again, I'll link in the description below the referral to Epidemic Sound. I love it. I'm not sponsored for saying this, but I just love filtering and finding music via them. But you can still find some royalty-free music using YouTube Studio. I will probably be creating a video showing you how to do that, but in the meantime, let's continue with what we said. So I'm coming here, that's the track. So this is a track, I'm gonna leave it in place for now, import. So, how do I bring the track in? Same as I bring the clip in. So all I need to do is just to drag the track and place it here. So now if I play, so you can see what's going on already. It gives you like, oh, this is like a nice family day that they're having. But one thing when it comes down to music and clips is you want to hit the beat. So in this case, you can notice that there's a delay. Probably you'll be saying, what was he on about? What? Delay where? But listen to this. So I've missed a bit there. So this is where the beauty of creating content comes, I think. Putting things together, having a nice music, and then making them flow. So I'll mess around a little bit. So I'll probably make it a bit more bam bam tak da 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 tak da 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 tak. So those are my cuts, right? Let's just try that out, and I'll see you in a short while. Okay guys, just before I start doing my cutting, one thing I wanted to explain is how do I make this view, let's say this storyline, a bit bigger. All you need to do is just to do your own, you know, how you zoom into something. I'm using a trackpad, so all I need to do is just zoom that, and I've got that out. So that gives me the option to see how the beats are falling in my track. So I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so guys, I'm back. Hopefully we're getting the sound, but this is what I came out with for the moment. You see, obviously you don't need to match every single bit, but the nation one, I think quite fundamental to match. And then don't forget that you still got the option to have text. You've got things, motion graphic that could pop up, so that could also be in line with the music. So let's say we've done our thing here. I'll probably finish it up later. How do I add a text? To add a text, I just need to move to my text generator, which is left hand side. We've got the media, the libraries. We've got the audio, and then we've got the text generator. So just to make this nice and quick and easy, I'll click that, and that gives you the text options that you've got. There are plenty, you could play around with this. If you click on titles, that will show you everything that you've got. If you want to be a bit more specific because you know where you're going, then that's a matter of just saying, okay, I want to click elements, and then I'm seeing element. I want to see credits, I'm seeing only credits, and blah blah blah. So fade in, fade out, I'll just go a classic one. To preview them is enough that you press the spacebar and it shows you what happened. Okay, so I found the text. How do I bring the text into my timeline? Same way that I used to bring a clip. So I just want to move my timeline, let's say my indicator, wherever I'm interested in. So it could be here. And then all I need to do is to press the letter Q this time, because we want it above. So if I press the letter Q, that goes above there. And then guess what? If I move my timeline here, this is the text that will appear. So how do I change the text? Okay, I'm going to select text generator, and I want to go to the text inspector. So click text inspector. At the moment we're using this font. Looks, I don't really like it, so change that one to something a bit more fun. That one is fun. And then how do I change the size? This is a bit like classic Photoshop stuff. Title, family time, like that. Okay, so this starts family time, it goes like that and fades out. Okay, that, play, and that. So guys, I'm gonna finish this up right now. Hope it's making sense and hope you're enjoying it so far. If so, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I'm gonna finish this up and then we'll look at the end result. See you in a bit. So I'm back guys, the video is almost done. I've added some additional titles. Let's have a look. Using the same font, I've placed them a bit around there, and I got to the point where I have finished. So see you next time, and I did a fade out. So how do I do a fade out? Let's have a look at fading out the track. The way you fade out the track is by selecting it, going to the inspector, volume inspector, and what we've got there is volume. I can place a keyframe by selecting that, add a keyframe. So that adds a keyframe with the volume set to that level. The next thing I want to do is I want to move the time towards the end of the video, like so. I'll say more or less, that'll be fine. And then drag the volume all the way down. So that will now create a nice fade out, and that is one way. And here's the second way. I can select my track, which is that one. And if I move my cursor down to the very bottom, you notice that I've got the option to drag up and down, which is sliding the volume up and down, or I can go towards the end of it, and there's that tiny guy there that controls the fading in and fading out. So I can fade out by dragging this inwards, and you can see that there's that fade out that is coming across. So the volume starts from there and it starts fading out. Probably you'll see it better on your computer when you're working on it. But what happened is that I can select that grip, which I use to grip my fade out, do a right click and choose what type of fading out I want. And basically that's it. So I'm going like that and that fades out in the same way. But you know, I'll probably say it's a quicker way to fade out. The thing you've got with adding the keyframe is that you've got more control. Let's put it out that way. Okay, last thing I want to show you guys is the ending. So what I did here is fade out. So I'm going from there and I'm fading it out, which then fades out with the music. How did I create that fade out? All I want to do now is just to select the clip that I used for the ending, which was that one. I want to bring it down back to the timeline, to the primary timeline. And if you remember, we press the letter E. That will bring that clip back. So I'm going to select the track. I've got the option to go to the composition and say opacity. This is what we're looking at. So I want to select the opacity, add the keyframe to about there. So that will add a keyframe saying the opacity is at 100%. And if I move to the end of it, like that, I'll drag that down to 0%. By the way, mom is going to collect the little one, so I'm not like leaving her crying like that. And that's it. So I've dragged that down. So it's starting from there and I'm fading out like that. This is how you create a fade out. And here we are, guys. It's time to share what we've done. And in the meantime, the code is getting me. It's getting to me. So how do I share this? I now want to move to the top right corner, click the share button. Depending on the format you want to choose, that will give you a bigger or smaller size of file. So I'm gonna go with the 1080. This is what we see. You've got the option to scroll and see what's happening. So your video, yeah, you're happy with that one. And then all you need to do is just to hit next and choose the location where you want to save your video. In this case, I've exported it already, but let's just show you what the step, let's say the workflow to export it was. I'm basically about to sneeze, but I'm holding it. Save. Replace whatever we have there, and that does its own render, and that's pretty much done. And we get a message saying render is done. Okay, so the code is catching me now. I just want to close the video saying I hope you found this beginner overview video on Final Cut Pro 10 useful. If so, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. If you're an expert on Final Cut Pro 10 and you came across this video, don't forget to feed the comment section below. That'll be really useful for everyone. YouTube is about community, so it'd be really great to have everyone here joining, commenting and sharing tips that will help everyone grow. So I'll go and get something because I'm getting worse. My nose is just running. I'll see you the next time. Thanks for watching. Ciao.